What up, ladies and gentlemen, Chen Chen here bringing you guys another video. Today we are here bringing back another very informative guide, asking the question, as you can see through the title, is Vladimir good in competitive play? So this is a VOD review of a Clash game, which is obviously the closest of competitive play one might be able to get. This is tier 1, which means plat diamond-ish players, which isn't bad. This is my team right here that I've created under the name CPG Crimson Pack Gaming, kind of my organization. So this is as competitive as you're gonna get. As I mentioned, the title says it all. Is Vladimir good in competitive play? Based on how I'm talking, you can kind of already tell. The answer is yes, and I'm gonna show you through this gameplay exactly why it is. Obviously, we all know that SoloQ Vladimir kind of dookie right now, and it's been dookie for a while just because of the champion of Vladimir and how much utility, how much resources he requires. In a solo queue environment, it is really hard to pull him out, but in a competitive environment where you have team calls, you have teammates that aren't just going to run it down, it's a very, very solid pick. In fact, I would even venture to say it's a very good pick, Vladimir, in competitive play. So we're going to dive right into it. If you find this video useful, make sure to smash the like button, join the Crimson Pack by subscribing to the channel. Let's dive right into the VOD review. Alright, so I'm going to skip around. You all know how I do VOD reviews. Going to skip around the boring parts. Not going to really show you everything, but I really want to focus on the team play. So if any of you are struggling on playing team fights with Vladimir, this video should be for you, because we're going to focus heavily on the team play, heavily on the shot calling, what I tell my teammates to do when this happens or that happens. So jumping into the lane right away, we're against a Kale. Personally, I think we absolutely demolished them in the drafting phase. Their team comp is just really, really poorly made, and I think we got the much better team comp here. Now, in terms of this matchup, if you do play Vladimir, this matchup is very, very interesting, I'd say. It's interesting because, for the most part, Kale actually outscales you. But thanks to the new items, you do actually have more agency to kill her early. So we'll be seeing that through this gameplay. Right off the bat, you can see I'm playing extremely aggressively, posturing, knowing the fact that Kale doesn't have any sort of capabilities to really wave clear other than her E at level 1. I'm abusing whenever I have Q. So you can see wave's obviously going to slow push into her. This is very optimal, and right here I'm pressuring her extremely, extremely hard. So jumping forward, we already know that scuttle fights are very bound to happen. Right here, I'm telling my jungler, hey, I have a lot of prio. We can fight for this top scuttle right here. So we know that Olaf is at the bush. I'm making sure to shove out the wave, as we see here, and instantly I am moving and rotating onto Olaf. So I pop Ghost. I forgot to mention I did take Ghost here. In competitive play, Ignite really isn't the greatest. It's either Ghost or TP. Ghost offers you so much utility, so we're able to get so much prio. Despite Vladimir being such a low prio early game champion, I'm able to help my jungler here pretty much secure first scuttle. We might even be able to get double scuttle. I cannot fully remember, but go back into lane. I lost a little bit, but it honestly is very worth. In competitive play, focus on your jungler more than yourself. So right here, Nunu comes in and gets a very, very solid gank. Right here, I tell my jungler, you gotta flash. It's not a bad play. Kale has no flash. This is very, very important, and it's gonna allow me to set something beautiful up, right? Because remember, she's not a champion until she's pretty much level 6. That's how you want to think about Kale. So without flash, she has no way of escaping, and I'm keeping this in mind. In fact, I'm even telling my team right now, I remember this, I'm about to solo kill my laner, so just play safe. That's literally what I told my team here. So we fast forward, top dies, unfortunately, and getting Q poke, poking her as much as possible. And right here it happens. Proc phase rush, auto W. Super, super beautifully executed in a competitive setting. that is pretty hard to pull off. I think she trolled that pretty hard. She didn't have flash, and she was stepping way too high up. Unfortunately, my team's kind of inting top lane right now. Not sure what's happening there, but we're gonna fast forward. Just like that, I've created a beautiful lead and a beautiful easy matchup. So I should be able to push that lead, and we're gonna see exactly what I do here. Right here, I'm telling my jungler that Kale has no flash, so he's coming. And just like that, I'm setting up a beautiful freeze. In competitive play, it's very easy to focus a lot about wave management and just win off of that, because a lot of the times you're able to abuse that. Like in SoloQ, a bunch of random fiesta is going to happen. If you freeze, enemies going to roam and, you know, they're not going to react fast enough. But in competitive play, you can tell your teams that, you know, they're missing. And I did tell my top laner that Kale's missing, but I believe he still dies. Slight mistake on his part. You know, I communicated that pretty obvious there, saying that I was freezing Kale's roaming, but it is what it is. It's fine. Instantly, right when I see Kale's rotating, my jungler's priority is to go for Drake, which he is right now, and I'm just shoving to make sure that we have prio. So there's a nice little trade. At this point, she is actually starting to outscale me and just pretty much outtrade me in a lot of these battles, but that's perfectly fine. We're going to take a recall here. Or not, actually. We're going to shove this wave. Yeah, the wave was horrendous if I left it like that. A lot of what's going on right now is just focusing on team fights. Based on the draft, you can expect that a level 16 Kale is going to be super lethal with an Olaf set Nautilus frontline and potentially Samira doing Samira things if she's ahead. So we definitely want to avoid that, and we're going to see some insane team fights that we set up to prevent that. As we fast forward, I popped the ghost. I wasn't actually able to reach her. That's super unlucky. But I still pressure her off, so it's not even the worst situation there. Now right here, my jungler's telling me that they're invading. I am rotating here. This is actually a really solid fight. So they're both here. Unfortunately, both my teammates died, but my top laner's here. And my AD carry's here. I flash her ults. We pick them all up. And that is just such a beautiful play. Set. My ADC almost trolled there. That gave me a small heart attack when she ulted him away or towards me. If he got one auto, I would have died. But all calculated. Really solid team fights. So that's what I'm talking about. These team fights, a lot of the time, and SoloQ especially, like, if they die, it's just not coordinated. But because it's Clash, because it's competitive, it is very coordinated. You know, I have ults. My Scion is rotating there, and we're just able to collapse and get so much off of that. So right now they place Rift mid. I'm just looking to get rid of that. Now they are posturing for Drake, and I prefer not to give early Drakes, but I believe Scion has TP, so if anything, I understand that we could fight for this. We'll see what we do here exactly. Shoving in the wave, pressuring Kale. She rotates first. And we are actually able to just win this fight despite them getting Drake. I get a beautiful ulti there. Scion TP'd a little bit late, but it's still fine. We're able to pick a lot of them up. So just like that, forcing team fights in this situation is just so nice. Vladimir's main strength is team fights, by the way. That is where his core identity is. Obviously, in SoloQ, you're trying to 1v9 those team fights, but in competitive play, your goal is to land a huge ult, damage a lot of them, and just win that team fight through that. So, really solid play. Going to fast forward. Should be able to back for my mythic here. So what's interesting is that their bot lane and their mid lane actually swap lanes here. This is very interesting as to why they did this. No tier 1 turrets were broke. In general, this isn't really the greatest of macro plays for them, just because I'm able to pressure a lot of Samira Nautilus, right? Because I am a fed Vladimir. And if I had Nunu near me more, definitely could have potentially win in here. But I don't know where they are. Nunu wasn't posturing properly towards the mid lane, so I'm just gonna back and not go for anything risky. Right here, a very solid state that we're in right now. 105 Vladimir. Of course, I prefer getting most of the kills, but that obviously isn't happening. Fast forward, we enter a fight, and we're able to pick him up. And we're gonna shove this out and should be able to get this turret as well. Now, my team told me that they want to fight for this Drake. I'll follow their command. I'm gonna back here and going to group. Personally, I would prefer to continue splitting there because I didn't have ults. You know, I didn't have ghosts. It's just not the greatest, and I believe my jungler died or someone died before. So in the comms, I was saying to give Drake, but they didn't want to, which is fine. We're gonna follow the commands. I get a really solid engage onto him. Huge amount of damage. And even without ult right now, I believe I have Void. Yes, I do. I'm just gonna shred through their team, man. Game was a bit too chaotic, so I failed my flash E. It happens, but we're able to pick him up and get the Drake as well. So just like that, that was a 2 for 5, and we get Drake. Very, very solid macro coming from my team, telling me to group. Despite not having ult, we still were able to win that, which is really nice. So right now, we're looking to split Baron's up. We want to split the side near the objective. We're going to be splitting top here for a little while. I believe I split it pretty far up. Until the vision line cuts out. Now they go in on me. Very interesting engage that they would try here. I'm able to just pop a lot, and I burnt a lot there as well. Through burning Kayle ult, we were just able to engage. I told my team to keep engaging here. They really didn't want to trust in my call, which was unfortunate. If I had pool, that would have been pretty nuts, but like I said, small mistakes. It happens. It is what it is. Nunu picks up the kill, and Sion gets a lot there. So they underestimated my damage. I almost one-shot Kayle. If I had pool there, it would have been super juicy. And yeah, you can already see how I'm kind of running over this game. 4-1-12 on the Vladimir with my Finnish Mythic, my Void Staff, 8 Magi stacks, or Darksteel stacks rather. I'm just feeling super, super good. And I got Ghost for the late game scaling type Vladimir. I would highly recommend, if you're playing competitive Vlad, Ghost is really solid. Unless it's a matchup where you need Ignite, or even TP is very viable in that setting. But yeah, hopefully you guys can see exactly how strong Vladimir is in competitive play. I was not kidding. Just because your team knows exactly what you need, you're able to execute it very flawlessly. I think I have a 100% win rate on Vladimir with this team right now. And I pulled it out maybe 4 to 5 times when the enemy is stupid enough to leave Vladimir open. For whatever reason, I don't know why. And yeah, at this point, I'm telling my team, look, Kayle's about to be level 16. Doesn't matter how fed I am, we should still look to close out the game. So we're using our Baron buff and we're sieging here. Siege the tier 2 mid. And we should be looking to potentially siege. Maybe not. They have pretty good wave clear, so we're just looking to... Actually, I believe Sion engages here. I popped the Ghost. Engage beautifully on their bot lane. Beautiful flash away from Nautilus Hook. And just like that, I nuke their bot lane. I get the triple here. And just like that, beautiful engage. The power of a fed Vladimir. Truly disgusting. Now, I believe we don't end here. We actually kind of greeted and griefed a little bit. Yeah, we overstayed. I don't think I die. I do die. But I'm able to retaliate. So that wasn't horrible. And I believe Max dies here as well. Sion dies. Very unfortunate. Just a small throw. It's nothing insane. We have such a huge lead that that really isn't going to game change anything. So fast forward, fast forward. We're back online, and I'm telling my team to pretty much just look for the end. No reason to stall out this game. Alright, so we see Sion is splitting top. This is perfectly fine, because we really don't need him here. He can just create cryo, and he also baits Kale there. So right when we see that, you're going to see that I instantly go in. Once again, I nuke Samira completely out of the face of the planet. Goodbye, Samira. And we're just able to win the game off of that. I believe Sion sets me up here. Beautiful EQ from max range. And that's going to end the game. Ladies and gentlemen, Vladimir in competitive play is a definite yes. I've been very advocate about Vladimir's state as a champion. You know, in low elo, he's very good. In higher elo, he starts falling off, and in competitive play, he's really good. This is mainly because of how he works and how easy it is to abuse him, right? High elo, they know his weakness. They're going to abuse the living shit out of him. Low elo, they're just going to drag on the game for like 40 minutes, and you're able to scale up very nicely. And in competitive play, your teammates know exactly what you need. They're going to give you that right resource, and you're going to absolutely pop off 11-16. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you learned something through this video. If you want more informative guides, make sure to smash the like button. Join the Crimson Pack by subscribing to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a great day. Chen Chen out.